Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Princess of Swords. This is someone who is, always trying to learn new information. I feel like you have a real thirst for knowledge. I feel like you are trying to kind of cut through some of the bovine excrement in life and get to the real truth of something, of yourself, of your purpose, or of your situation, your surroundings, or a particular situation that you're in. Okay, I find that you're always curious. You're always trying to kind of break through to the real heart of something. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Let's put this into some context. We've got a Four of Pentacles. We've got a Knight of Cups. We've got a Queen of Pentacles. You've got the Hanged Man. Ah, interesting. Okay. You've got the Emperor as well. Over here, we've got a Queen of Wands, a Five of Wands, a Tower, and the Star. Very nice. The Hanged Man is asking a very important question, I think. We are trying to discover what are we in service to? What have we been, I think you've been making sacrifices in life. You've been putting in your energy somewhere, right? What are we in service to? Are we in service to something that is outside of us? Are we in service to the world or other people or some kind of obligation or a job or a feeling of trying to prove something, trying to achieve something for, kind of external reasons? Or are we in service to something? Are we in service to the Star, right? Or are we in service to the Emperor? Okay, and I kind of feel that this is an examination of our motivations. Okay, an examination of kind of what we are trying to do, what we are creating, what we are manifesting, right? Our Four of Pentacles. And why? Yeah. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set that down right here with our very own Kelly Kapoor, right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's use our intuition. Now, looking around the room, we see major, 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 major. Okay, we got the four major arcana energies: the Hanged Man, the Emperor, the Tower, and the Star. Otherwise, we have fire, a little bit of water, a little bit of air, and our earth energies. 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards. Okay. And the four court cards are interesting too. It's fire, water, air, and earth for the court. Okay. So I feel that you've got a good handle on all of your energies. I feel like you're someone who knows what their talents are. You know what your gifts are. You know what your skills are. And it's just kind of like trying to figure out how best to apply myself, what to apply myself to. Okay? What are we trying to manifest? What are we trying to bring from the realm of possibility down to the material world, the material plane, the physical plane, into manifestation? Right? So there's an investigation now. You're curious. You're trying to get answers. You're trying to figure out, what do I want to do? What am I supposed to do? You know? And the problem is, no one can give you answers except for yourself, your true self. Your own soul is going to provide you the answers. Your own star, right, is going to guide you. No one else can give you answers about what you're supposed to do with your life. And that's the trouble with our intellectual investigation, because we're asking questions, but it's just like the answers aren't going to come through the same medium that the questions go out, right? We're using words to articulate the question, but it's not necessarily words that are going to come in to give us the answers. The answers are going to come through more subtle means, a spiritual channel. Okay? So I feel like there obviously must be some kind of a dilemma in life right now, right? We're looking at the Four of Pentacles and wondering, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to create? Is this what I'm supposed to apply myself to? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? Right? So that implies, I think, just by definition, that we must be feeling the question somewhere. We must be feeling as if like there's something inside of me that needs to come out, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. We wouldn't be asking the question if we already knew, and we wouldn't be here, right? So I think underneath the surface, having this this feeling underneath, right? Because the court cards, remember, we've got fire, water, air, and earth. Your air is it's the intellect trying to do the investigation. The intellect asking the questions. Why am I here? What am I doing? What am I supposed to do? I have all these skills and talents. I know who I am, but how am I supposed to create something with all this? Right? The water energy, the Knight of Cups down beneath the surface, is, for one, I feel this kind of nagging energy inside of you that feels like something in you is sort of pulling you somewhere. Like there's something in you that wants to be expressed out into the world. This is a card that's all about the pursuit of our passion. This is a night of the Holy Grail, right? We're questing after that Grail. And this is kind of like the desire in us to do what we're supposed to be doing, right? Well, if I only knew what that was, then I could go do it, and then this would be satisfied. So this is the urge. It's like something is calling you to go on your quest, to start living that purpose, to start doing what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And maybe this is the feeling, too, that like I thought I already was, right? I thought I already, but then why are there the questions? Yeah. So the next court card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles looking at the past. And I think that it's really, the past is in the past, right? Because the queens are always looking at the past. This card is in the position of what's behind you. So I think that you've done a lot of retrospective work. You've looked at your history a lot. You've tried to figure out if there's any clue in my background about what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Because the princess of the tarot, they're focused on right now. Okay? The knights are focused on the future. What should I be doing going forward? The princesses are focused on what am I doing right now? And the queens, of course, are focused on what was I doing yesterday. So it's kind of like you've done that already. You've looked at yesterday to try to find out if there's any clue there about what you're supposed to do today. Do I just continue what I've been doing yesterday? Well, that hasn't been working. Otherwise, we wouldn't feel the questioning. We wouldn't feel this kind of energy at the moment, you know. So looking into the history here, trying to find the some sort of thread that we're supposed to trace. We're looking at the long and winding road, see, that we've taken to get right here, right now, and realizing that it's not a straight shot. I can't just keep going in the same direction that I was going in, because none of these roads were ever straight. Never. They were never that clear. There was always twists and turns. So it doesn't seem likely that we can just keep doing what we've been doing and find that kind of, satisfaction, or find that sort of meaning that we're looking for. Okay. The Hanged Man at the top is really the essence of the question. What have you been living your life in service of? In service, perhaps, of material things, or the life that we realize that we've been focused on building a material success, material power. So in other words, from the time we're born, we are learning how to stabilize ourselves in the environment, how to stabilize ourselves as individuals. That's what we've already done. Learning how to get along with our parents, our family, learning how to sort of get along with others in school, how to do good on, going through the grades, how to make friends, how to get a job, how to hold a job, how to pay bills, how to establish ourselves as so-called stable, productive human beings. Okay? How to function in this world. And this is a world that we've all inherited. Right? We are born into this world with already a future that is set up with a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibilities, a big to-do list. As soon as you're born, you got a big to-do list. You got a lot of milestones you got to reach. You got a lot of things that you have to figure out as you grow in your life. And I think that to continue doing that, it's kind of like there's something else. There's something missing from all of this. There's something more. This is too limiting now. It's kind of like we've done that. Some of us continue to do that for the rest of our lives. I think in a way we do, but there's the other half of it. There's another piece missing. There's something that needs to change in all of this. There's some way we need to grow beyond this. This is like a plant that has been kept in a little square pot for too long, and now it's just the roots can't grow anymore. The stalk, the limbs, the fruit, it cannot grow any bigger than it is. Okay? So eventually we have to transcend this state of things, and that, I believe, is what you're feeling now. And that's why there is this this feeling like there's a different future out there. That there's something more, there's something beyond. It's like we're looking beyond the walls of this castle here, and the Knight of Cups is thinking, there's an adventure out there for me somewhere. I don't know what it is, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but the Hanged Man has been in service to this earth energy, to getting along in the world and to establishing ourselves. We've been in service not to our own soul, but to our safety, security, and stability in our lives as a so-called stable and productive individual. Moving forward, we get our Emperor energy. And in a way, I kind of wonder if the Hanged Man is sort of asking that question too. What is the master that I've been serving? What is the emperor that I have been sort of giving into, acquiescing to, obeying, being obedient toward the will of the emperor? And this emperor is it's in front of us. So this is the one that we're sort of looking at, waiting, the Hanged Man, right? Waiting for the orders, waiting for the commands, waiting to be told what to do next. I don't think this is necessarily working for you. I feel there's kind of a rebellion in you, So we could be realizing in life that we've been sort of looking outside of ourselves for a sense of direction, looking outside of ourselves for something or someone to tell us what to do, or how to do it, right? Or what to pursue, or what to sacrifice myself for, what to give of myself, what to be in service to. But I think the Emperor here is really, because we have our other fire energies on the path of the Serpent here, I feel like the Emperor now is your realization that this authority needs to come from within you, in here somewhere. Okay? It's not something outside of you. Yes, we all have a boss. Even my boss has a boss. My boss's boss's boss. Everybody's got a boss, right? Everybody answers to somebody. But in terms of what you are living your life in service toward and what you are creating and building in your life, there are no answers outside of your own soul. Okay? And I think we have to realize that we're not going to, and then, there could be something going on at work. This seems like it could very well be a work situation or some kind of a business type of thing where it's just like, you realize that you need some kind of, you need to have an authority over yourself. That you've been kind of going along with things for too long, right? And that's part of the Hanged Man too, going with the flow. Not exerting any will of our own. I'm not trying to go against the grain. I'm not trying to paddle against the river. I'm just going with the current of energy. I think we're realizing that somebody else is driving the boat. Or we're sort of looking at somebody else to start steering the ship here. And there's a realization that ain't no one going to drive this boat but you. Okay? And so there's an empowerment here. Okay, it might be a situation where you're looking to somebody else to lead things. Spirit's saying, no, you've got to lead. This is your ship, right? Maybe this is your job, this is your life, this is your career, maybe this is your business. Maybe you are a business owner. We can't look outside for leadership. The leadership comes from within. The Spirit's asking you to step up and be the leader now. Okay. And it's kind of like it's in the future position, right? So it kind of has this suggestion that, well, I'll take some responsibility later, tomorrow. I'll step up and I'll be confident. I'll be the leader tomorrow. But that's not it. We can't say, well, I'll start asserting myself tomorrow. Today I'm still thinking about it. Today I'm still going to be inside of my Four of Pentacles. This sort of safety and the familiarity, because the leader is the one that's going to take us away from the familiar. If everything is routine and familiar in a Four of Pentacles, the boss doesn't need to be around. The boss is sleeping in the back somewhere. The business is running itself. But if we're going to do anything or go anywhere, someone's got to take command of the ship. Okay? Otherwise, things are going to stagnate in that Four of Pentacles. And it's not something we can put off to tomorrow. And as we see on the path of the Serpent, with our Queen of Wands, we're realizing that we should have done this yesterday, but today's okay too. We can take this leadership, we can take charge right now. This is a confidence. This is the assuming of command. This is the assuming of control here. Okay. And now we're going to talk about the path of the Serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. All right. There's recipes. You have a box of old recipes that are like handwritten recipes. Maybe you passed down from an older female energy in your life, from mom or grandma or something like that. The recipes, yeah. Back to our Queen of Wands here. It's your general energy. And this is the assuming of command. This is the taking responsibility. This is being accountable. There is also a connection with the past here again. Okay? So we're kind of looking at our history, and we're wondering, we're trying to make sense of this. Because, sometimes we think, well, I've been in charge, I've made decisions in my life. The ego kind of feels like, no, I'm in charge. I've always been in charge. I've always made my own decisions. But I think that there's kind of a growing realization that a lot of our life just sort of happens to us, happens for us, happens around us, and we are just merely reacting to it. that it really is, well, in this hanged man sort of way, we're victims of circumstance. We are just, we're changed by the environment. Wherever this river goes, I am flowing down the river with it, But the ego kind of doesn't like that. It says, no, I've been making decisions. I've chosen everything every decision I've made in my life was me making a decision, right? And that may be true. But the hanged man still has to ask, what have we been in service to, though? We've been making decisions in a certain channel of energy, and it's only once we get out of that channel that we realize that, wow, all my choices were very limited. It's like, I don't know, it's like when raising kids. I have a 4-year-old daughter. So we're raising her, and we want to give her a sense of authority. We want to make her feel like she's a big kid and she's making her own decisions. So we say, what do you want to wear today, the red one or the blue one? Right? And she thinks, I get to choose. I want the red one today. And so it's kind of like we're not letting her choose whether or not she's going to get dressed or whether or not she's going to go to school. It's you're getting dressed, you're going to school, but you get the choice of the color clothes you want to wear. Okay? And she's 4. Right? Can you imagine if we have that realization as adults that that's how we've been living our life in a deeper, maybe abstract, more spiritual sense? That we've been in an enclosed space and we get a choice of which direction to go, but only within these boundaries, only within these confines. Okay, it's not, do you want to get a job or do you want to be an artist or do you want to go to school? No, it's like, would you rather work for company A or company B? Okay, it's would you rather spend your money on this or that, right? This can of soda, the red one, or the blue can of soda, right? It's an illusion of choice. Yeah, and very often we like that. We prefer that, okay, because it's easier. It takes away that anxiety of really feeling as if, oh, crap, I'm really responsible for things. What I do with my life now, it really is up to me. That I can choose neither of those options. I don't have to wear the red clothes or the blue clothes. I can wear my birthday suit if I want. I mean, it is your choice. And I guess that's fine if we're at home or whatever and the shades are drawn. But it's an accountability. It's really taking responsibility for our own life. And I think that this is, it's a very empowering time. And it's also a little scary. It brings us to our next card, the 5 of Wands, which is us asserting our will into the world. This is the position of your relationships. This is the position of your environment. I feel like you're kind of fighting back. I feel like there is this rebellion. I feel that you're kind of like, you're fed up with the same old, same old. You're fed up with only having the choices that are within this box. You can have anything you want, but only what's in this room here. You're free to choose, but only between this or this. So this is kind of like, well, no, I'm done with that. I'm going to go outside the box. I'm going to take control over my own life, and I'm going to make a big change. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to be somebody different. I'm going to be in service of what I feel is nagging me deep within my soul. And even if my parents don't like it, even if my friends think I'm weird, I don't care. I've got to do what feels right deep down inside. So I feel like you're probably experiencing a lot of friction with the world, with your friends, your family, maybe even coworkers and stuff. I feel like there's just been a lot of short-temperedness, maybe some bickering. It just feels like there's friction now, okay? And that friction is you starting to go against the grain. Anytime you start changing what you're obedient toward, right? What you're in service to, right? And you're trying to be more in service to your own soul, well, you're going against the grain of something, right? For a long time, I think you've been going against your own grain. And that's probably why you felt the discomfort. Now you're starting to orient yourself back toward yourself. You're going against the grain of the other, of the outside, okay? And so it's going to feel uncomfortable. someone's going to be uncomfortable somewhere, right? If you're getting along with everybody and everybody's happy and everything's perfect, somebody is sacrificing themselves. Somebody is acquiescing their true essence, is surrendering their true self for the sake of that harmony. Okay? So if everybody went their own way and everybody sort of followed their own will, maybe there would be more harmony, but it doesn't work that way. Right? In an ideal world, we'd have perfect sixes everywhere we go. Perfect harmony and resonance. Everybody's doing their own thing perfectly. Nobody's getting in each other's way. But it doesn't work like that. There's always going to be friction somewhere. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like what you're doing, somebody who is upset by your choices. Okay? And so I think that it's either you are going to be uncomfortable, you're going to be upset, because you're going against your own grain to conform to the world, or the world is going to be upset because you're going against its grain to be in more harmony with yourself. You choose, right? And that's what you're doing. You're choosing. So the energy we don't want, of course, is the tower energy. We're trying to avoid any kind of real disruption of services, you know? We don't want to... we don't want our stability, we don't want that safety, security, and stability that we've established for ourselves in life, our individuality, our relationship with the world, our standing in society. We don't want that to break down. Okay? So we have to be very careful about how we are going against the grain and how we are trying to orient ourselves toward our true self, because we want to do it in a way that preserves this, but builds onto it an elaborate castle, right? We don't want to destroy the foundations that we've already spent a good portion of our life establishing. We're trying to orient ourselves toward our star. It's going to cause friction, but we do not want it to cause any unnecessary disruption. There's collateral damage here. There are casualties. And some of that cannot be avoided. But we don't want to act in such a way where we cause any kind of unnecessary breakdown of relationships, breakdown of the relationships between you and the world. Friendships, family relationships, work relationships, relationships with society, with neighborhoods, communities, government, you know, all that stuff. We still want to be safe and stable and secure, and we want to be in good standing with the world, but we're also slowly trying to orient ourselves to, it's like a Band-Aid. You know, maybe if you just do it really, really slowly, you're not really going to feel it. It'll be uncomfortable, but it won't be too bad, where you rip it off, and I mean, that's a big deal. So we're trying to avoid ripping the Band-Aid off. And so if we turn our ship too quickly, we're going to cause a huge wake. Everybody inside the ship is going to get jostled around, right? We turn the ship slowly, it's barely even noticeable. And pretty soon, here we are following our North Star, living a life that is in service to our soul, while at the same time still being in harmony with everything else as much as possible. Okay? So we're trying to avoid the tower here, but we are trying to follow our destiny, follow our North Star. And is very often our intellect cannot see the north, but your soul knows the way. Okay? I think that was Emily Dickinson. Your soul knows the way. And that's why we feel this pull towards something, but the intellect, that Princess of Swords, is trying to say, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I'm just angry with people. People are upset with me. There's just friction. It's almost like every planet is in retrograde right now. It feels like there's just this friction everywhere I go. And I don't understand it. Well, that is your soul trying to navigate the ship toward the north, toward your true path, right? Trying to put your hanged man, go with the flow, put all of the sacrifice of your energy toward your soul rather than you sacrificing your soul for everything else, let's say. And that's the hanged man. Something is being sacrificed either way. something is going to be given up. Something has to be devoted. Something has to go with the flow here. There is some grain somewhere that you're going to be going with. So that's not the question of, will there be sacrifice? Will there be suffering? Will there be a surrendering? Yeah, there will be, but who and where and what, Very interesting energy for you right now, Scorpio. I want to look at our mystery card. I want to see some good, happy cards. I want to see a 6 of anything, really. I do feel like there's a kind of a special story with you in a river. Maybe when you were a kid, you grew up by a river, or there's something like this. But there's a strong river energy in your aura right now. Okay. And also an M name person and a P person. Maybe first or last initial. I don't know. Maybe that's backwards. But M and P are very important people in your life right now. Okay. 6 of Cups. No. King of Pentacles. I couldn't be more wrong. 6 of Pentacles is a fixed earth energy. The King of Pentacles in this case feels like somebody who is continuing on the same path that they've been on, not moving, not budging, not changing anything. If we stay where we are going to get glued to our life in this way. Life is going to grow around us and over us and on top of us, and we're going to be unaware. See, eyes closed, hasn't gotten up out of that chair. The vines, the weeds, the grass has overgrown them. You're just becoming a fixture, and life is going on without you. All of this growth is taking place, but not with us. Right? That would be the equivalent of that 4 of Pentacles. If we stay there, we're missing out. The only way to survive here is to move. Now, anytime we get a 4, we start looking for the 5. Anytime things get too stable, we know change is coming. If change does not come, we are frozen in time and space. Life is going on without us. And we've just been stuck here. And all the life has overgrown us. The weeds they've grown over our bodies when we're sitting in this chair, right? Because we haven't moved. We haven't changed anything. We haven't reoriented ourselves to be in harmony with life, to be in harmony with, and the thing is that once we slowly navigate toward our north and we start living in service of our own soul, we're going to become, just by necessity, more in harmony with the world around us. Our relationships will improve. Right? So there's this friction now, and there's friction during the move, but once we start flowing in that direction, our relationships will get better. We will start finding more resonance with the world around us. And that's why if everybody did this, there would be no friction in the world. There's friction when we are all going, different ways at cross purposes, and we're all sort of, denying our true selves. And there's friction as we try to orient ourselves back to our true north, to follow our star. But once we all are aiming at that star, there's going to be harmony. Our relationships will improve. And I think that's something that we need to really keep in mind too. That the friction here, all the disruption, all of the challenges, all the fighting, all of the bickering and the tempers and so, all that is going to, it's temporary. Harmony will be restored. So you're going from a 4 to a 5, and then we get the 6. So I was hoping for the 6, but the 6 is coming. But we can't be so afraid of the 5 that we're not willing to even budge. Because then that 5 is going to stay there, and it's always going to be a friction. We're going to feel it inside of us. Our relationships will suffer. But once we're in harmony with our true self, we're going to be in more harmony with our friends, our family, our employers, the pets, the plants, the people, nature, the world, everything. Civilization, the universe as a whole. Right? The harmony will be restored. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there is a link up top. There's a link down below. We're going to do an Jing reading. We'll do some oracle cards. New readings for Scorpio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.